5:10, paragraph 10. Ki al habanim chal hatikun. It's on the son specifically to do this tikkun of the Kaddish and to raise up the parents. Why is it specifically on the children and even on the sons? Because they're the ones that say the Kaddish. Ki ikar hu hadat dikdusha, because the main thing is about da'at, knowledge of kedusha, holiness, shetzirichin letakeno al yedei bechina hanal, that we have to rectify him by this. Meaning we're trying to rectify the da'at of the deceased. V'hada'at hu bechinat rachamanut. And da'at, in a way, is synonymous, or it's again bechina, it's an aspect of mercy. Even though they're two different things, and they're two different sefirot, da'at and mercy have similar themes to it. Shenimshach me'av leben, that mercy is drawn from the father to the son. Kemoshe mevu'ar sham al ma'amar Rabbeinu Zal, like it says over there where we said about this, that Rabbeinu Zal said in Bereshit Rabbah Nun Dalid 54, Ad kan rachameh ha'av ala ben. Until here is the mercy of the father to the son. Like we know, a father has mercy on his son. Vezehu, like it says in Yeshayahu Lamed 38, Av lebanim yodia el amitecha. Father to son will let know, yodia, da'at, el amitecha, to the truth, to your truth, Hashem. Ki adat v'arachamanut hem bechina achat kanal. Because da'at and rachamanut, rachamim, is really one idea. So just explaining this, sefirot-wise, da'at is in the middle, because you have chokhmah, bina, left, right, and then da'at in the middle. Now also rachamim is in the middle, because you have chesed and gevura, which is really chesed and din, and rachamim or tiferet is in the middle. So there are two middles. Da'at and rachamim, in a way, work in somewhat of the same way because they're both in the middle, which is really the mercy slot. Now, the father has mercy on his children, like it says, kirachem av al banim, and different things that we say. So it means that since, well, that's what it says now in the next chapter, in the next piece here. Va'al ken, therefore, haben daika osek betikun avotav. It's the son specifically that has to do this tikkun. Ki hu tzarich letaken hada'at hanimshach me'av laben. Because he has to provide a tikkun of the da'at that's coming from the father to the son. Because since he is the son which has the mercy from the father, this young man, he has that mercy from the father. So he's the right one to now do something that will bring about da'at, because mercy and da'at go together. So since he's the mercy child, so he's the correct one to instill da'at in that father. And it says that it was shemisham nolad. It was from that da'at that he was even born. Like we know, when a person is conceiving a child and you have the zera, the seed, it all comes from the da'at, from the mind first. So that's really, the son is coming from the da'at. So he's the right one to fix the da'at. And by being that he's the one that has, that he's filled with the mercy from the father. Because everything will be rectified by this. And by doing this, will be zocheh, merited, to have that song that we're going to sing in the new world, the Shir Chadash, and the melodies. Shehu ikar tikkun, which is the main part of the tikkun. Shebishvil ze ba hadam laolam, that it's for this that the man came into this world. Now again, chidush ha'olam, we're trying to get the father, let's say, any parent, to the chidush ha'olam, to techiyat hametim, like we were saying in the past. Now, da'at is about Techiyat HaMetim and Yemot HaMashiach, because we say the land will have da'at Hashem, knowledge of God, like the yam, kamayim layam mechasim, like the water covers the seabed. So it's already da'ah, knowledge. So Yemot HaMashiach is the knowledge. So to say we're going to get the Father to have da'at, it means we're going to get him to Yemot HaMashiach, which is the Chidush HaOlam. And who's going to do it? The Son who's wrapped up in mercy, and he came from da'at, so he's the right one to do it. Ubishvil zeh, because this, ikar ha'chayuv ha'mitzvah le'ashir banim acharav. Therefore, knowing this, it's the obligation and a mitzvah for a person to leave over children, especially sons. Hakol b'shvil tikun ha'da'at, in order to have a correct tikun of da'at. Shu tikun ha'emunah, which is the tikun of emunah, faith, shemitbareret midor ledor, which is refined from every generation. Bibchinat v'ador v'ador emunato. See the word emunah with dor v'ador. Every generation is, you have emunah. Bichinat, dor ledor yishbach ma'asecha, every generation will praise Hashem. Bichinat ledor v'ador emunatecha konanta eretz, that Hashem established the earth, meaning in order to have emunah in every generation. Shekar kiyum haolam midor ledor, because the whole way of keeping up the world is by generation to generation. Bechinat konanta eretz v'ta'amod, like we said, hu rak b'shvil beirur ha'emunah, and it's all to refine this emunah, shemitbareret midor ledor, that is refined in every generation, meaning every generation picks it up a notch and does more, and when they pray for their father, it's also going to be more for the father. And then the son has his own da'at. So it's going from generation to generation. Bechinat lidor v'ador emunatecha. Again, like that pasuk says. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen. And Rab Natan Zal, he finishes up by saying a beracha. And maybe one can say in the Amidah, we say, Mechalkel Chaim bechesed, Hashem supports us with chesed. Mechaye metim berachamim rabim. He revives the dead with great mercy. So again, you have the idea of mercy when it comes to reviving the dead. Now, even though we said before that it's givura and din that brings techiyat metim, because it's really an atar gibor leolam Hashem, is the blessing of mechaye metim. But still, that's in one aspect, meaning that the prayers of din, and when God goes after all the enemies and that, it'll bring the Geula and it'll bring the dead to come up. But in another way, it also comes from Rachamim. Like we said, from the children, they help the parents to also get Mechayeh Metim as one idea, but also just in great mercy at all is Hashem brings it to Chiyat Metim, because we don't necessarily deserve it. It's really coming from His great mercy. It may be Deen that causes it, that brings it, but Rachamim also brings it. I guess you have to juggle both of them. That's why we always say, in one Bechina this and one Bechina that, and like we say, Be'erech, Erechin, in relative to. Sometimes something could be relative to this, relative to that. Things can be different, but yet the same. Now, just noticing the beracha, it says, Mechayem etim berachamim rabim. Now, Rabbim, we know, like Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the word Bar is a Ben. So Rabbim is also Barim, like Banim. So you could say the dead get up with the mercy, which is the children. Because the children or the sons is the mercy of the parent, which is going to help them to get up when it comes time for that. And just one more idea about connecting mercy to da'at, knowledge, is correct da'at is when you have mercy on the right things. Like Shaul HaMelech, he had mercy on Agag, the king of Amalek, and that wasn't him using his da'at correctly. And then a person who has rachamanut, mercy on the wrong person, he could end up being achzari, cruel later, like he killed the Kohanim, in the city of Nov. And of course, we don't blame Shaul because he had a ruach ra'ah that went in him, but that's a special case, and he's still a tzaddik. But in general, we see that people that use the mercy without da'at, it's not a good thing. So da'at and mercy have to work together. That's the idea. They're really a package deal.